Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this update we are going to talk about VeChain's chart. And if you remember, in the previous VeChain update we were right in here and I was saying one way or the other we are going to get a move on the upside, because if you want to be bearish and pessimistic, well, okay, this can be a 1 2 3 4 5 wave, and what happens after it? Most likely a move up. If you want to be optimistic on the other hand, then okay, you can argue maybe starting from this point or possibly even here, we are having generally an A, B, C in form of a flat. And back then, I think we didn't have this last phase right in here, which ended we took this low. So I was saying we cannot really be sure about whether this thing is going to be like a running flat or maybe an expanded flat, but overall it didn't matter. Generally, we said we are going to get a move up soon, and this is a key. The move up itself, I said, is not really that important. What really matters is the shape of it. And I think in here, I am able to find some optimistic signs. Why is that? Because I think there's like a very, very good chance. Let's actually go on 15-minute time frame and see what is happening. Okay, so I think we can all agree, starting from this low, we are having a beautiful 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, possibly into a wave 1, and this might be an A, B, C in form of a zigzag with a truncated C wave. I know they are quite rare, but it is possible to have a truncated wave C in a zigzag structure, and then huge and strong move up into wave 3, followed by that maybe this is a triangle, or maybe we are having like a WXY structure possibly to about this point into our wave 4, and then one more move on the upside into wave 5. Now, whenever you are having a 5 wave up, after it, you can expect what? You got it, a move on the downside. That's why right now in VeChain, I want to say we might see a move down soon. Now, whether this is going to be a relatively deep move down, or maybe even from here we're going to get a move on the upside, that can be up for the best. Why? Because if you want to say from here we're going to go up, okay, I think you can argue that maybe the end of our wave 4 is not going to be in here. Instead, it might be right around this low, or maybe like just a bit lower. And overall, we can have in this phase an ABC flat structure, and then the next move is going to be into our wave 5. On the other hand, if we get like a deeper move down, something like this, at that point, we are probably going to say, you know what, this 5 wave was actually complete to about this high, and this, from my point of view, most likely is going to be a correction structure. And what are we going to have next? I'm going to say it, more likely than not, another move on the upside. And I'm really, really hoping that in that phase, we manage to successfully get a break of this important resistance area between 2.6.5 to about 2.7.5 cents, and go possibly a bit higher. Now, on a higher degree, okay, we can consider different possibilities. We can say maybe this is 1, and then correction for wave 2, and what are we going to have next? Good move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5, which on a higher degree overall might be the sub waves of a wave 5, something like this, which means, well, soon after this whole move is over, we are going to get a move down in VeChain. Do not get me wrong. Overall, I do think we are very, very close to the end of this move on the upside. It just seems like that in like very, very short time, we may see like maybe another 10 to even 20% move up, and then that will be at our local high, and it's going to be time to have a move down. And I'm hoping that this is going to be a correction structure, and if it's going to be like a deep move down, it doesn't really matter. Okay, what really matters is the shape of it, and because kind of we are able to identify an impulse in here, makes me a bit optimistic in VeChain and say maybe our final low is already in about, let's say, 1.7 cents area. So for like very short time, I think we can expect something like this, a move down, but then after that, we want to see a move on the upside. And what we do not like to see is a move down in order to get a break of the next line of this head and shoulder structure about, let's say, the 2.5 cents area, because that can potentially confirm this pattern, and the targets for it is actually going to be all the way down here about like the 2.2 cents region. So you want to see a slow and choppy move down, and before we take this low, we want to have a move on the upside, and I do think there's a good chance that is going to happen. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in VeChain's chart. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.